Please rise in body or spirit as we sing our opening hymn, number 212, Sarah's Circle.
Good morning and happy Sunday. It is good to see and hear so many of you today on this lovely day. My name is Jeff Stevens, and along with Aaron Parrish, we will be your worship associates for today. Before we begin the service, if you're watching us from at home, we invite you to go and get a piece of paper and a pen, and the reasons for that will be apparent later in the service. We welcome those that are joining us online from Lake City, Valdosta, Palatka, the Nature Coast, Ocala, and beyond. It is a blessing that you are here today with us, and we welcome you with open arms and hearts. Helping us light the chalice today is Lisa Alcala. Our chalice lighting words come from Helen and Teacher, The Story of Helen Keller and Anne Sullivan Macy by Joseph P. Lash. My teacher has told you how a word from her hand touched the darkness of my mind, and I awoke to the gladness of life. I was dumb, now I speak. I owe this to the hands and hearts of others. Through their love, I found my soul and God and happiness. Don't you see what it means? We live by each other and for each other. Alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much. Only love can break down the walls that stand between us and our happiness.
Good morning. Surprise. Do not adjust your screens. You're not seeing things. I have returned to the realm of natural hair color for the time being. Good morning. My name is Heather Arata. I'm the Director of Lifespan Faith Development, and I use she, her pronouns. I am a medium height, cisgendered, queer, polyamorous woman of European descent. My hair is normally dark brown. Today it's auburn red. And I do wear reading glasses. This month's theme is theological reflection.
Hi.
Hi.
So I'm going to co-opt the moment for all ages this morning.
Yay!
So each week, as part of our Sunday service, there's this moment, right, that we call the moment for all ages, where we all get a story or a message, most often from Heather Arata. And we announced a couple months ago that Heather will be leaving us, right? We're not all, I'm not happy about it, y'all aren't happy about it, but she has a dream, and her family has chosen to move away where she can't be with us every week. So instead of the story that Heather has chosen, I want to read a story that comes this morning from the Social Justice Council, and that is about Heather.
Surprise!
Surprise! So once upon a time,
Oh, am I going to cry?
not so very distant and far away, Heather had this dream. Heather's dream was how wonderful it might be to have a fruit tree on the children's playground here at UFG. Heather had all these feelings, right? This joy of imagining what the children could do, could learn, how they could be. And she had this image of them reaching up and picking fruit from the tree that was planted really just for them. She dreamed of them being able to eat that fruit right there on the playground, and what learning and connection to the earth that might bring. And then COVID. And then, like the planting of any seed, some folks here heard about Heather's dream. And with great delight and joy, the Social Justice Council came together to make that dream come true. Heather, your dream has been manifest this morning from a satsuma tree that was planted yesterday on the playground. There's a marker that will be dedicated with the tree today that says, "This tree was dreamed to be here for the children of UUFG by Heather Arata, April 10th, 2022. The Social Justice Council wants to thank you for the dreams you have brought and nurtured and loved us with to our benefit. We will gather at the new tree after the service to bless it and you. So after today's service, there are many things to do, and we ask that you come to the playground. I hear there will be cookies. And stay with us a bit so that we may bless you in your journeys. And I will see you on the playground
I'll see you on the book. Thank you very much.
today. Gives me chills. Good morning, my beloveds. I am the Reverend Christy Lunsford. I serve this congregation as settled minister, and I use they, them pronouns. I am a person of European descent with graying brown hair. I wear my reading glasses almost exclusively now, as my partner so likes to point out that I can't go anywhere without, where are my glasses, where are my glasses? The eyesight's getting a little worse, but all is good. And this morning I wear a very loud paisley shirt that I've gotten many compliments from you all, and I coordinated with a stole that's one of the reversible stoles in my collection, so to kind of tone it down, but then somebody pointed out that it too is paisley, just in the same tone. So I'm not always that coordinated nor intentional, but I try to be. So we are coming back in community. There are many faces I see this morning that I haven't seen in a very long time. And we want to remember that we are not all back together, right? We're not all here yet. And we may never all be in person ever again. So I want us to remember that we are hybrid, right? And we do invite in UUs from across the country, across the world, and we invite those long-term members who have been with us over the years and maybe can't get here or don't feel that they can get here every week to always join us on our YouTube channel where they can see the service live streamed. And I do appreciate any notes that I get on Monday mornings and try to bring them back the next week from you all. And coming back in community, I've been asking like for 2 years, we can still do things outside, let's do it. And it seemed like everybody was kind of frozen. And now it seems like everybody's in a rush to do things. So I want to point out some things that are coming up because our calendar is extremely full, and I'm not even talking about the small groups. These are just major community events. So we'll begin with some dates. So this is a very administrative part. And when I went to seminary, one of the classes that I had that I really loved, because it changed my perspective, is that administration is a spiritual act. Just like meditation, right? There's some comfort in knowing what comes next and getting everything kind of in order in a way. So I'm going to start kind of backwards. On May 22nd here, we will have our UUFG annual meeting after service. We are going to do everything possible to have a break between service and that time together, but both will be streaming. So if you're not able to be here in person, we're going to try to make it possible to see people and talk to people online as well as in the room. But we ask if you can, please join us in person. We'll do some light refreshments and then come back in and gather for our meeting. An important thing. Our shared ministry service of installation is coming up on the 24th of April, so that's 2 weeks away. Some people in this room probably don't want to hear that, but it's just 2 weeks away. It is at 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and there will not be a morning service. There's months and months of work that's gone into this in the background, and that day will be very harried for many people to make this room set up and ready for what's happening. And it's about us. It's about our shared ministry. And we will have guests from the UUA. We will have guests from the Ministers Association, from Black Lives of Unitarian Universalism, from trans religious UU professionals, and we will have area ministers from Florida joining us for that event. I know you all haven't had one in probably, I think somebody said like 15 years. So many of you maybe have never experienced what this is, but it's really a celebration of the work that happened 3 years ago now. It's been that long, right? I attended an installation yesterday, and you may hear this again at the installation service, but it was also delayed, and the board president got up and said, "So we've been living together for quite some time, and today we're getting married." Okay, I kind of feel like that's where we've been, right? We've been in this stasis, I'm your settled called minister, and yet we've never formally said, here's the thing, right? So we're going to do that. Then next Sunday, which is Easter Sunday, there's kind of like this dream. I can't really even believe it's a thing yet. but it's choir or music Sunday. They're right there. It seems like this distant, like we're never going to get there, and yet they feel ready, and they're going to be ready for next week, right? We're all ready. As long as we can. Derek has been a little under the weather this week, and hopefully that won't return in any way. And so as you can tell, there's no lack of activity here. So we'll bring it back to today. For those of you who are online, today the UU The Vote campaign launches at 1 o'clock. You can go to the UUA website and put in UU The Vote, and that will give you a start time for their program that launches our voting campaigns in our UU world. For those of you who are here in person, and I don't see membership in the room, I think there was a newcomers gathering right after. I think there's supposed to be a newcomers gathering right after service. Maybe, maybe not. There's a tree dedication on the playground, as you've heard. And there's also our social justice democracy initiatives on the playground today that are hand in hand with the UU Vote. It's all about democracy. We're signing the sign-up petitions for people to get on ballots. We will have some other guests here, and social justice will talk about what we can do as a community. All of these things are manifestations of our faith. It's a sacred act to participate in community, and it isn't easy. It takes work, it takes commitment. There will be times of conflict, and there will be times of celebration. And those things usually don't come separately. They usually come in a both and. Right? But this work is holy work, grounded in our values. So as if we didn't have enough going on today, some of you may have been directed as you came in, but I'm going to also direct you as you go out. There are baskets with letters on them that's alphabetical, and in those baskets is a letter for each of you and a pledge card. We are launching our stewardship campaign today, right? I am not one for a hard sell. I've never been one for a hard sell, but sometimes it's necessary. So I would ask everyone to look at where you are for this year's commitment. We are seeing a trend that folks have fallen behind in their commitment for this year. And it's causing some stress among the board, among the finance folks. And we understand that life changes. So if your life changed, just call and talk to me. Things can change. But as things change, it changes our budget and what we're able to do. So make sure you look at this year's commitment and that you're on track. And then we need to go on and fill these out as quickly as possible so that on May 22nd, we can tell you where we are as we pass a budget that we hope that we have covered and that we don't have to come for a second ask, right? But we don't know unless you turn these in. So you will get this. If you don't get it today in person, it will get mailed to you, and there will be an email tomorrow morning. Maybe if Cam got it done, it might be in your box already. That's a digital version, one or the other, not both, one or the other, right? Whatever it takes to get that information in would be great. That was a lot, right? A lot of information, a lot of administration. And that's not usually how I like services to go. But we got a lot. We're coming back, and we're coming back strong. So we got a lot going on. So let's make sure that you're still present in the room. And I give that to Jeff.
Let's all take a deep breath. Maybe 2 deep breaths. And allow yourself to put aside the tumult of our everyday lives to be present in this moment with one another. Draw strength support, and love from one another as we begin our time to think, love, and worship together. Let's take one more breath. As Reverend Christie said, the work of our fellowship requires the time, talent, and financial commitment of our members. Your contributions help us to heal a broken world and to help our community. Our weekly offering is an opportunity to help further our services and contributions to our community. For those watching at home, you may donate from our website, uufg.org. Your generous contributions will be gratefully received.
I'm Erin Parrish, a short 60-ish cisgendered woman of European descent. My pronouns are she and her. I'm wearing a light blue top, black cropped pants with more than a few cat hairs on it, and black sandals. The following definition of Lectio Divina is modified from the UUA Worship Web. Lectio Divina, Latin for divine reading, has been used by Christian monks for centuries to gain a deeper understanding of the Bible and other writings important to them. Being UUs, the practice doesn't mean the same thing for us as it does for them. Yet we can still gain some insight from this practice. The passage we will read is by Reverend Anna Blydell, published in Enfleshed, E-N-F-L-E-S-H-E-D, and it's a website with wonderful poems and readings. So settle in, take a deep breath, and listen. Palm Sunday, dear ones, was a protest, a march, a demonstration, a witness. Roman leaders of empire generally wanted Jerusalem lightly policed, knowing that transparent tactics of fear and control could foment resistance, except during large festivals. Passover was a large festival, telling the story of freedom, of exile and return, of liberation from Pharaoh's oppression and captivity. There's nothing a festival commemorating the deliverance of people from their oppressors to make the modern day oppressors nervous. The people shouted, "Hosanna, save us." Jesus, a Jew, a teacher, a healer, and a prophet, had been working to do exactly that, working for justice and liberation and healing, working to save people from the systems of supremacy and domination resulting in poverty, racial and ethnic hierarchy, gender oppression, sexual shame, violence, and retribution.
In the tradition of Lecta Divina, we listen to words and poems, texts that bring us insight over and over. And we listen for that word that strikes our heart, that we can't let go of. And so Jeff will offer our reading again. And during the musical meditation following, we ask that you come forward and choose a stone that maybe has that word already written on it. And if you need to write something else, there are blank stones to write the word that struck you in the reading.
Palm Sunday, dear ones, was a protest, a march, a demonstration, a witness. Roman leaders of empire generally wanted Jerusalem lightly policed, knowing that transparent tactics of fear and control could foment resistance, except during large festivals. Passover was a large festival, telling the story of freedom, of exile and return, of liberation from Pharaoh's oppression and captivity. There's nothing like a festival commemorating the deliverance of people from their oppressors to make the modern-day oppressors nervous. The people shouted, "Hosanna, save us." Jesus, a Jew, a teacher, a healer, and a prophet, had been working to do exactly that, working for justice and liberation and healing, working to save people from the systems of supremacy and domination, resulting in poverty, racial and ethnic hierarchy, gender oppression, sexual shame, violence, retribution.
the Holy Week story is a story that binds our stories together. Being betrayed by people, institutions, and systems unwilling to summon courage to take risks on behalf of justice, kindness, compassion, care. The holy challenge of getting woke, staying awake, and continuing to tend to beauty and pain together without becoming bitter. The horrible powers of institutions and institutional leaders to wield harm and death while saying their hands are tied and nothing else is possible. The holy power of ordinary people resisting by telling the truth, tending to each other's needs, and refusing to just go along to get along. Are we woke, as you use? Probably not. Not as much as we should be. Are we aware of our impact versus our intent? Probably not as much as we should be. Are we going along to get along? Probably more than we should. Have we cast the first stone? Denied the voice of our values? How might we carry that? How might we put it down and choose a different path? Choosing a path of being awake, of being intentional. That load is heavy. Should be heavy in your hand. How might we intentionally come back to each other in community?
We return to our text one last time to make meaning or find connection. Palm Sunday, dear ones, was a protest, a march, a demonstration, a witness. Roman leaders of empire generally wanted Jerusalem lightly policed, knowing that transparent tactics of fear and control could foment resistance, except during large festivals. Passover was a large festival, telling the story of freedom, of exile and return, of liberation from Pharaoh's oppression and captivity. There's nothing like a festival commemorating the deliverance of people from the oppressors to make the modern-day oppressors nervous.
The people shouted, "Hosanna! Save us!" Jesus, a Jew, a teacher, a healer, and prophet, had been working to do exactly that, working for justice and liberation and healing, working to save people from the systems of supremacy and domination resulting in poverty, racial and ethnic hierarchy, gender oppression, sexual shame, violence, retribution.
The Holy Week story is a story that binds our stories together, being betrayed by people, institutions, and systems unwilling to summon courage to take risks on behalf of justice, kindness, compassion, and care. The holy challenge of getting woke, staying awake, and continuing to tend to the beauty and pain together without becoming bitter. The horrible powers of institutions and institutional leaders to wield harm and death while saying their hands are tied and nothing else is possible. The holy power of ordinary people resisting by telling the truth, tending to each other's needs, and refusing to just go along to get along.
Our Joys and Sorrows book sits in our sanctuary for anyone to share with the congregation the stories of their life and how it impacts them emotionally and physically. By sharing with one another, we draw strength and support from one another. We have no entries this week, but I'm sure that we have many unspoken ones that are within our hearts. And for those, we hold each other in our hearts. We invite you to come forward and add a stone to our pool for those that you are connecting to at this moment, and to send out well wishes and prayers to others. If you wish, you can release the stone that you collected for the Lectio Divina, or keep them for your further reflection.
closing reflection today was begun by Robert Walsh, and I adapted it for our service. It begins with a quote from E. E. Cummings. Love is the voice under all silences, the hope which has no opposite in fear. Easter arrives early in New England and our northern states, while spring is still mostly a promise for them. If there is anything we can trust, no matter where you are, surely we can trust the earth in partnership with the sun to put new leaves on trees, to coax blossoms from forsythia, from shrimp plants, right, from our palm trees here. Meanwhile, I watch through the window on a gray, chilly day for the coming of spring. Can we trust this? That love that is more durable than life? Can we believe that love casts out our fears? Can we believe that love is under all silences? I trust and I mistrust. From the quiet center of myself, I hear a very trusting love, a love of my beloveds, a faith that the story about love is true. And on the noisy surface of my life, as it comes back, I hear a trusting of love, and yet I hedge my bets. I collect things. I join organizations. I take out insurance, hoping to be saved. Maybe this is why we need to keep this celebration, this Palm Sunday and Easter. Maybe it's because we need to hear the old story about love. We need to be reminded about the voice under all silences. May it be so, blessed be, and amen. Please join us for our closing hymn, a hymn that I have not sung in a couple of years now. Number 78, Color and Fragrance. We do verses 1, 3, and 6. Please rise in body or spirit. As we extinguish our chalice, I will point out to you that there are Christians among us who need this story told and who may want something different from a minister who doesn't claim Christianity. So this Thursday evening, I will actually offer you all a communion service for all who need that, all who want that to be recognized in their lives. Please join me that evening. Let us now extinguish our chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry on our hearts until we are together again. May it be so, and blessed be.